Ladies and gentlemen, this is Hollywood Joe from Hollywood's World of Sports, coming to you today with another edition of Hollywood's Hot Topics. And today's topic is NASCAR, one of my favorite sports to watch and something I've been passionate about for quite some time. However, this weekend there was a little bit of controversy, and by a little bit, I mean a lot. This weekend, NASCAR's Xfinity and Cup Series raced at Talladega Super Speedway, one of only two super speedways on the circuit. And there was a bit of controversy because Jennifer Jo Cobb, who races in the NASCAR Truck Series, was offered a ride for the Cup Series, I believe by Rick Ware Racing. Well, NASCAR came out just a few days before the race and said that they would not allow her to race in the Cup Series because they didn't think she was ready. And I use "she wasn't ready" in quotation marks because it sounds like a bunch of garbage. Um, I have a huge problem with this because NASCAR claims they're trying to be inclusive and diverse by having more people of color, by having more people, uh, involved in the sport, more females involved, and all of a sudden, a female driver wants to drive in a cup race, and they deem her not ready. Maybe because when she's in the truck series, the equipment that she's racing with isn't the best. It's not top tier like your, you know, Gibbs Racing or Hendrick Motorsports or Penske or one of the big teams. Yeah, they got all the best equipment. We all know it. Those are the teams that are usually dominating. And so my question in NASCAR is, if you're saying that she's not ready, what are you doing about everybody else? Like, for example, the same 10 guys who finish 30th or worse every single week, except for Daytona and Talladega. Because I'm pretty sure if you go look at the statistics, it's usually the same 10 guys from 30th and below every single week. So, what makes them more ready than Jennifer Jo Cobb? And the thing of it is the last time that a female driver drove in the Cup Series, it was an epic failure. And I hate to say that. Danica Patrick, I mean, she was great in Indy, great spokesperson for GoDaddy. I'm sure she's a wonderful human being, but she failed miserably as a NASCAR, Xfinity, and Cup Series driver. Now, there's another female driver out there by the name of Hailie Deegan, and Hailie is working her way up. She has started out in the ARCA Menard series, did very well there, and now is in the truck series. And it's going to take her some time. The truck series is a pretty aggressive and competitive series. And honestly, it's my favorite series out of the three because of the competitiveness and the aggressive driving we have in the truck series. But I want to know why NASCAR is being hypocritical. Um, I almost feel like if Danica Patrick came out of retirement tomorrow and said she wanted to race in a Cup Series race, they would let her. And you know what's funny about it is Jennifer Jo Cobb has a lot of experience racing in the ARCA Menard series and racing in the truck series. So I'm curious, who in NASCAR deems who's ready and who's not? Is it the fellow drivers? Is it a committee? Is it President Steve Phelps? I mean, who is it? Because I'm sorry, if you're not getting behind the wheel of a truck or car in the sport, you are in no position to deem or tell a driver they are or they're not ready to drive at a certain level. Um, like I said, Jennifer Jo Cobb, been around a long time. Yes, she doesn't have the best statistics in trucks, but you got to look at the low budget teams she's been racing for. And so if you're going to start making all these rules about who's ready and who's not, maybe you need to start going after the other low budget teams in all three series and making sure they're up to standards. Because, like I said, we have the same 10 guys finishing 30th or worse on a weekly basis, and I don't see NASCAR going after them. So, this whole NASCAR wants to be inclusive and NASCAR wants to be diverse. No, NASCAR is playing favoritism. They're playing politics, and it's kind of garbage, honestly. If Rick Ware wanted her to be in his car, she should have been allowed in his car. Because I can tell you right now, she's probably more deserving than some of the guys that are racing in Cup right now. So that's just how I feel about it. Seems like a lot of sports these days are shooting themselves in the foot with certain rules, and this is another example of it. I really think NASCAR needs to take a hard look at how teams are able to race in certain series and what drivers can race in certain series. Because if you're going to enforce a rule on one person, you need to enforce the rule on the whole sport across every single level of the sport. Because right now, NASCAR looks pretty bad for not allowing Jennifer Jo Cobb to race on Sunday. So going forward, hopefully NASCAR pulls their head out of their rear ends and rights the wrong of the situation. Because if they continue to be picky and choosy and playing favorites on who gets to drive in what series, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of problems. So that's just my opinion on it. Curious to know what everybody else thinks. And, let me know if you think that NASCAR needs to change their ways on some things. So, with that being said, this is Hollywood Joe from Hollywood's World of Sports. As always, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, YouTube, social media, all that good stuff. Be sure to check out HollywoodsWorldOfSports.com. And remember, controversy doesn't come without criticism.